Officer Cesar Marti, Miami-Dade Police Department, former president and co-founder of the Dominican Law Enforcement Officers of Florida. In 2017, I met with Officer William Castro for the first time, and we started going back and forth, entertaining the idea of having an organization where Dominican American Leos could come in together and do something good for the community. I had the idea in mind for years, and then William also had the same idea of putting something together as the Leo FL to help the community. After this point, we did a second meeting, and that's when the project started taking shape. And one of the things that I noticed, and I said to William at that point, I said, listen, I was part of the motorcycle unit at that point in my department, and I kept on running into a lot of Dominicans from all agencies here in the state of Florida as I was doing my patrols or anything that had to do with the motor unit. And that's when we realized that we do have a lot of Dominican Leos in the state of Florida. And coming from a background of service and seeing all the Dominican American Leos in different agencies, we thought it was a good idea to get all those role models together and help our community, especially our youth, as they're growing up. Sometimes they don't have access to some things that we've learned through our career and all the opportunities that life has, and we just wanted to do something to give back to our community. And coming from a background of service, we thought that was the best thing to do. Just create an organization, a platform where every Dominican professional, not just from the law enforcement community, but any professional area that would like to come and join us and be part of something positive, be part of changing lives, and that's our way of giving back.
My name is William Castro. I'm a U.S. Customs and Border Protection Officer, co-founder of the Dominican Law Enforcement Officers of Florida, and also the current president of the Dominican Law Enforcement Officers of Florida. The idea of the Dominican Law Enforcement Officers started early in 2017. It was an idea that I had of a way of bringing together different Leos from different departments. Myself, I worked for the federal government, and we found that there's so many Dominican law enforcement officers here in the state of Florida, both federal, state, local, and we needed an organization to represent our culture and our values. And that's how the project became a way to bring together our officers to represent our community and as well as our heritage. I first met Caesar in 2017, another law enforcement officer. After I was talking about the idea of forming this organization, said, I have someone that I want you to meet that sort of shares the same values as you and has the same ideas that you do. And we met and we brainstormed, we exchanged ideas, and we decided we were going to go ahead. We were going to put together this organization. The only problem here is that we have no experience running a nonprofit. We've never ran a nonprofit. But you know what? That wasn't going to stop us. We were going to go ahead and we were going to create the organization no matter what. We were going to do our research. We were going to, go online and find out how to run a nonprofit. And there was no way to stop us. We were determined this organization was going to get started. I remember making a phone call to a friend, an old acquaintance from New York City, and I told him the idea that we had, and he put me in contact with the Dominican law enforcement organization in New York, NIDO, the New York Dominican Officers, and I got to meet, at the time, their president, Raisa Ramirez. And I told her what we were trying to create here in Florida, and she was very supportive of our idea. She said, anything you guys need, we're here. She offered her advice. She gave us sort of what to look out for, what to be careful for, and we sort of molded our organization our unique way, but taking input from them since they've been around over 20 years. We took very, very in mind all their suggestions and all the pointers that they gave us. And we're very thankful for this organization for paving the way for us and allowing us to be able to do this once again in the United States and represent Leos. After getting together with Caesar and bringing together the foundation of the organization and putting together the bylaws and all this things that are required for a 501c3. We filed our paperwork, but we needed to have a meeting because this organization was obviously going to have its members. So we held a meeting on May 17th of 2017 here in this office with a couple of LEOs, a handful of law enforcement officers from different departments, the county departments, the local police departments, the federal guys, some of the state guys. And we presented the organization and the vision that we have for the organization to them. It was a very select group of individuals that came into the meeting with us. They grasped the concept. They were totally 100% on board. And that's when we really started to create a base for the group. And we started setting out goals as to what we're going to do to continue to grow the organization. And it's a process that obviously has come a long way, but we go back and it's amazing to see how it all started with a small group of guys.
So at some point, we had the first 10 members of the organization. We had the first 10 members, and that was the base for this big project. And now we have a significant amount of officers. And this is just the first 5 years of the organization, which is normally the first years of founding and the foundation and defining what it is that you're trying to do for the community. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have many members from this point forward, even more. But we are thankful to all those guys who gave us the support from the beginning and believe in this project. And like I always said, the benefit goes to our community, and that's the least thing we can do. The whole entire idea behind the UFL is just to give back.
I remember, like if it was yesterday, July of 2017, I go to pick up our mail and I see an envelope from the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. Right away, I got excited. I opened the envelope and I see that we were awarded our 501c3 designation from the IRS, which is a big deal. You know, we were now an official 501c3 nonprofit organization. I got on the phone right away. Caesar, you're not gonna believe this. We just got our 501c3. And we were amazed because this organization went from being an idea to now officially being a 501c3, an actual nonprofit organization, in a matter of only months, which is something that's very rare. Normally, nonprofits could take anywhere between 9 months to a year to get their tax designation from the IRS, but since everything was done properly, everything was done in order, we did this in an incredible short amount of time, which we were so happy about. Now that we're a nonprofit, now the work started. Now we started going to the community, spreading the word of who we were, what we were doing, getting to work. We started fundraising, we started knocking on doors, we started asking for help, for donations, and we started continuing to build the nonprofit organization, continuing to reach out to more law enforcement officers of other backgrounds, not only the Dominican descent. And the group kept getting traction, it kept growing and growing and growing. And by August of 2017, we held our first meeting as a 501c3 nonprofit organization. By then we had double in membership. We were already starting to plan our Dominican Republic mission to help our youth. We were already planning things we were going to do later in the year for the organization. And from there on, it took off. It was a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice. It was a roller coaster ride, a lot of ups and downs. But I thank God that we were finally able to get this organization off and running.
So once we had all these things put in place, which is what you need to start, we started reaching out into the community, seeing what were the needs in the community. We started, I remember, doing some cleanups and partnering out with all the organizations there, and just trying to see the actual needs that our community had and how we could bring in the help into the community. The impact of the LUFL in the community in the first 5 years of existence, it's been amazing. Going from just 10 guys to where now we help our community and do mentoring for our students and young adults. It's just an amazing satisfaction to see our young adults that, for instance, some of them wanted to become law enforcement officers, and now they reach out to us and we guide them into what it is to serve your community. And now you will run into them out there working, and it's an amazing satisfaction to see that you have made a positive impact in the community in just 5 years of existence of this organization. And we expect this organization to be around for many, many years, helping our community.
From the beginning, I knew we had something special with this organization, because a number of lives that we've been able to touch throughout these 5 years has been incredible. We've helped thousands of students be able to go to school with supplies that they need. We've helped the community through our outreach programs. We've helped our youth here locally in the state of Florida through our youth mentoring program. And I'm very proud of this organization. I'm proud of it from where we've gone since the beginning to where we are now. And I'm sure this organization is going to keep growing. And I'm sure that many, many years from now, we're going to look back and we're going to say, wow, I can't believe this was just an idea between two guys that never met each other but share the passion that they do in their profession. So I want to thank all you also for supporting us throughout these 5 years, because without your support, a lot of the things that we've achieved would not be possible. Thank you once again for believing in us, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to serve the community, and thank you for allowing Dominican law enforcement officers of Florida to continue to set the example.